Fukushima was one of the worst nuclear disasters in modern history. For preppers, it's packed with lessons we can't afford to ignore. Failed systems, poor communication, and long-term fallout turned a natural disaster into a national crisis. If it happened there, it can happen anywhere. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, your channel dedicated to practical prepping and disaster preparedness. I use a computer-generated voice in these videos because an injury affects my ability to speak clearly. Thanks for sticking with me. I've covered Fukushima before, but this is a brand new video with updated and extended information to help you prepare more effectively for a nuclear disaster. In this video, we'll break down what really happened at Fukushima, the critical failures that followed, and what every prepper needs to know to protect their family if something like this happens again. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake struck off the coast of Japan. It triggered a massive tsunami with waves reaching over 40 feet high. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant shut down automatically as designed, but that was only the beginning. The tsunami overwhelmed the plant's sea defenses and flooded the lower levels, knocking out power, including the backup generators that were supposed to keep the reactors cool. With no electricity, the cooling systems failed, reactors overheated, hydrogen built up, explosions followed. 3 of the plant's 6 reactors experienced full meltdowns. Radiation escaped into the air, the soil, and the ocean. In the days that followed, over 150,000 people were evacuated. Some left in time. Others weren't so lucky. Many were exposed to radiation. Some areas remain uninhabitable even now, more than a decade later. Fukushima wasn't just a nuclear failure. It was a failure of infrastructure, planning, and communication. That's why it matters to preppers. Fukushima showed us how quickly things fall apart when multiple systems fail at once. The earthquake didn't cause the nuclear disaster, the loss of power did, and the real damage came from what happened next. Infrastructure can't always be trusted to hold up. Backup systems only work if they're protected from the same threat. In Fukushima, the generators were in low-lying areas and got flooded. Without power, everything else collapsed. Then came the communication breakdown. People didn't know what to do or where to go. Some evacuated into more contaminated areas. Others waited too long for official instructions that came too late. As preppers, we can't rely on government alerts or smooth coordination. We need our own plans, our own sources of information, and the ability to act fast when every minute counts. And finally, there's the long-term impact. Fallout from Fukushima forced tens of thousands of people to leave their homes, some permanently. Crops were lost. Water was contaminated. Communities were torn apart. Nuclear disasters aren't short-term emergencies. If you're prepping for one, you need to be ready for the possibility of not going home. When it comes to nuclear disaster preparedness, most people imagine bugging out right away. But in reality, bugging in is often the safer choice, at least in the initial aftermath and during fallout. Fallout can arrive within 15 to 30 minutes of a detonation or release, depending on distance and when. If you're caught outside during that time, exposure can be deadly. The best move is usually to get indoors immediately and shelter in place, ideally in the center of a building, underground if possible, with as much shielding as you can manage. Bug out only if you're ahead of the event, if you have clear warning, a safe destination, and enough time to get there before fallout begins. Once fallout is falling, you're better off staying put until radiation levels drop. Don't rely on a single source of information. Use a battery-powered or hand-crank radio, a radiation detector, and pre-established triggers for when to act. The authorities might be delayed, overwhelmed, or simply wrong. You need to be ready to make the call yourself. If you live near a nuclear power plant or a likely military target, take time now to evaluate your home for fallout shielding. Know where you'd shelter and what supplies you need to last at least 72 hours without leaving. The best nuclear preparedness plans are built in advance, not during the chaos. There's a lot of gear marketed for nuclear survival, but not all of it is useful. Focus on what actually helps. Start with a radiation detector. The better Geiger S2 is a solid choice. It's compact, accurate, and easy to use, giving you real-time data on gamma and beta radiation without relying on official updates. If you don't know the radiation level around you, you're guessing, and that's dangerous. If you live near a nuclear facility or potential target, consider a full-face CBRN mask like the one from Mira Safety. Paired with their hazmat suit, it offers real protection if you have to move through contaminated areas. It's not cheap, but if you're in a high-risk zone, it could be a game changer. Potassium iodide is worth having too, but know what it does. It protects your thyroid from radioactive iodine, but only if taken at the right time. It doesn't block any other type of radiation and won't help once you've already been exposed. Also, stock food and water that's sealed or stored where fallout can't reach it. Cover water barrels, bring supplies indoors, and avoid anything that might have been exposed. The right gear makes a difference, but only if it's part of a larger plan. I've added links to these items in the video description. Fukushima showed us that it's not always the event itself that does the most damage. It's the mistakes people make in the aftermath. The first mistake is waiting too long. Fallout doesn't give you time to debate. If you hesitate, thinking you'll get more information or a clear signal from authorities, you may already be exposed by the time you act. Have a plan and stick to it. The second is relying only on official guidance. In Japan, mixed messages and delays meant people evacuated in the wrong direction or stayed put when they should have left. Don't let confusion guide your decisions. Use your own tools and judgment. The third mistake is using contaminated supplies. Fallout settles on everything: rooftops, gardens, water tanks, even bug-out gear. If your food or water isn't sealed or stored inside, it may not be safe. One bad decision can undo months of prepping. And finally, don't assume gear alone will save you. Even the best radiation suit or detector won't help if you're exposed before you put it to use. Planning, timing, and knowing what to do matter more than what you've got in your bag. Learn from the failures. Don't repeat them. Fukushima was a turning point, a reminder that even high-tech systems can collapse fast, and that ordinary people are often left to figure it out on their own. For preppers, the lesson is clear. You can't wait for help. You can't count on warnings. You have to be ready to act, with a plan that works even when everything else doesn't. Start with the basics. Know whether you should shelter or leave. Build fallout protection into your home. Get a reliable radiation detector. Stock sealed food and clean water. Practice your plan until it's second nature. You'll find everything we covered here and more in the full article on our website. The link's in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to help others get ready too. The best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is now. Stay ready, stay sharp, stay prepared.